Hello all, hope I find you all well. Okay, it's the Sunday edition, so it must be in, on and gone. This one is in, on and gone, video number 57. And as you can see, I'm out in the garden. Why not? Absolutely lovely day. This video is all about finding stuff around the house. Because really, there is no better way in getting started in reselling on eBay than actually finding stuff that you don't need, don't use, or is too small, too big for you. And we're going to start off this week's In, On and Gone with some examples of that. Really, I'm talking about what's coming into the store, I'm talking about what's on the store, and I'm talking about what has gone from the store. And when I say gone, I split that into two sections. Stuff that's gone in a week, so you know what the quick sellers are, and then stuff that's taken a little bit longer. But my name's James Smith. Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe as much as you can. This channel really is all about education in terms of reselling on eBay, what sells well, what doesn't sell well, and what I have basically found out from the shenanigans that go on in my shed in terms of storing stuff and putting it on eBay. Right, let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at what has sold within 7 days. And 3 of them are stuff that were either too big, too small, didn't need, and they're the 3 that I'm going to start off with, hence the title of this video. Oosh. First up, bit of a story behind this one. ASICS Gel Nimbus 25s, size 8, men's, in blue, nice pair of trainers, but they had running shoes, not trainers, running shoes. And that makes a huge difference. My lad got these, and I think he was slightly taken by the comfort that these shoes provided when he was actually in the shop. Oh yeah, Dad, they feel great. I was with him at the time. They feel fantastic. So I said, yeah, okay, all right, let's give them a go. And he went on one run in them, and he said it was like running in high heels. He did not get on with them at all. He was actually quite disappointed. And this proves a problem because you can't take them back. Now, as you've used them, the ASICS shop wouldn't have taken them back. So, yeah, this is the thing to learn with runners. Once you've found a shoe that you like, and I think this is why so many shoe companies in terms of running shoes actually do this. They just bring out like more advanced models but keep the features of the model the same, such as I use ASICS GT 2000s or ASICS Gel Kyanos because they're a stability shoe. I know that they work for me, so you know many runners they will find a product that works for them and wouldn't change. So that's why when you're listing running shoes, it's so important to put the full title in, not just a pair of like ASICS or Nike running shoes. Anyway, so we're presented with a bit of a problem, aren't we? So I just said, look, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to just put them onto eBay and just get some of it back, some of it. And I think we bought them for something like 80 or 90 quid. And within a week of putting them on, I put them on at 70, because you would think that, you know, they've only been worn once, £10 off, somebody might go for that. No, they're like new cars, okay? As soon as you drive a car off a forecourt, you lose quite a large percentage of the value, and really the same is evident with this as well. In the end, there was an offer, and it did come within the 7 days, and the offer was for £53.60. So I took that offer. All right, we got £36.88 back after fees. I think I might have put these on at 10% as well to get them shifted. You know, £36.88 profit. I'm saying that because it didn't cost me anything. It actually cost my son, which is 3,688% markup. But I suppose you can't really have, I'm not going to include that in my calculations, don't worry. So, yeah, he did get a little bit back, okay, and I helped him out a bit as well. Stick to what you know is the case here, and really he's got to stick to, he's a bit like me, he overpronates a little bit, so he's got to stick to his Gel Kyanos, which I think that's what he's going to do from now on. So yeah, bit of a lesson learned, but for you guys, a little bit of education as to how a virtually brand new pair of running shoes would react. Yeah, sold them for northwards of 50 quid, which, yeah, okay, we'll take that. I don't think it would have gone much better. Second up, these were from my daughter. She bought them, didn't really quite get on with them. A pair of Nike Star Runner 3s, totally black, these ones. And yeah, these weren't as painful than the ASICs because they didn't cost as much to start with. But again, it's something that you've got your hands on through no real impetus from you, no input from you. People are coming to you, and in terms of this is my family. Now, I am giving them some money back, obviously, but you might be thinking, Smithy, you're being a bit stingy, they're your kids. The amount of stuff that I've given them from doing this eBay reselling, as soon as I come in through that front door, they're around me, what have you got, what have you got? So believe me, they have taken more than what I'm taking back here. In fact, they're giving me stuff to sort of like pay for all the stuff they've taken in the past, which amounts to I am massively out of pocket. But hey, they're my kids, all right? So in the end, I actually suppose you are saving money from doing it that way, you know, finding stuff in charity shops which they're prepared to wear, and so you're not paying full price for them. So yeah, you're saving money that way. But yeah, these were a pair of Nike Star Runner 3s. They were black, they were size 5.5. So with the full black ones like this, another good feature for them, the full black ones will sell quickly. Why? School shoes, okay? Kids can wear them to school without getting into trouble. Because many schools have a policy that the shoes have got to be totally black. So that's what these were. I took an offer of £13, £7.72 back after fees. So that gives a profit of £7.72. So again, that's a 772 pence markup. But again, if you look at those two things together, the ASICS trainers and the Nike Star Runners, I mean, that's over 40 quid. That's come my way after fees have been taken off. So that's the profit. So yeah, it's to get things started, to get things moving, and once things have got moving, to just get things on is worth doing. Stuff that you don't need, doesn't fit anymore, if it's branded and if you think there's demand for it, get it onto your store. Next up, and again, all of these things sold within the week, was just a basic Reebok tee that my eldest son gave me, saying it didn't really fit and I can't be bothered to take it back, you have it, sort of thing. So yeah, okay, thank you very much. You have taken quite a bit off me, so this is a bit of payment back. Super duper, I like it. So yeah, a Reebok t-shirt that hadn't been worn, and you put that into the title that it hasn't been worn. So this is a Reebok medium t-shirt, and I took an offer of £11.60 on it, which gave me £6.84 back after fees and postage. So 684% profit, 684%. But again, I won't include that. All right, but you can see here, I'm hoping that you can see that the profits, considering my profit target is between 50 and 100%, these profit targets are absolutely smashing it, okay? But it's because I'm counting it as zero as the cost to me in the first place. But yeah, honestly, if you've got stuff that you don't use, it can be tools, it can be clothing, it can be trainers, it could be golf clubs, it could be golf shoes, it could be anything. Going around your house and having a look at what you don't use anymore is a small gold mine. Absolutely. Oh, nice little brew there. Can you see that, Jimmy? We were in Copenhagen last summer, and a nice little like shop with like their blue pottery in, but there was no mug with James on. The closest we could get with Jimmy, and that was my nickname at school. So yeah, lap that one up. My little Jimmy mug. Anyway, next up, this was a retro telephone, the Bakelite ones. Get with the circular dial, and one of my kids went on this, and they were like, "How long does it take to dial a number?" They're like, "What's it? You've got to go around for each and every number." Yes. Oh my God. I said, yeah, I know. I said there were some mums who could do it just as quick as you type in there, but I was one that went all the way around, all the way around. I can remember my mother going, whip, 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 okay. But yeah, they just couldn't quite get their head around just how long it took. But anyway, I did hold out on this one as well. I sourced it for £3 from a car boot sale, and almost immediately I was offered a £5 for it. And I thought, oh, there's hardly any markup in that. And these are on eBay for more. So yeah, I held out. I didn't accept that offer. I think I went back with a counter offer, but that wasn't taken. So yeah, we're still waiting. And a couple of days later, a full price take comes in. Now that's quite rare, but yeah, somebody came in and paid what I'd actually put it on for. Crikey, that very rarely happens. I reckon about 95% of my stuff is sold on an offer, but this was taken £15.60. Okay, and so I got £10.27 back, which was £7.27 profit. Okay, so that's a markup of 242%. So that is a good thing. Okay, and I didn't let it go for a £5. I think some of you might, regular watchers to this channel, might feel that as soon as an offer comes in, I let it go. It's not the case. It's not the case. I aim for that bracket, okay, the 50 to 100%, and that's a good tactic, a good thing to actually aim towards. But say if something has been on for a bit of time, say like even if it's 2 to 3 weeks, and like the first offer comes in and it's just below that target, I'll take that. I'll take that any day. Okay, just get the money back. Yeah, it hasn't quite worked. Get something else that you know works. So it's so important to go back over previous sales and see what works and what doesn't. Okay, but this is certainly something that I'll be looking to pick up in the future. Nice. Next up was a decent football shirt. It was the Sweden away shirt, Adidas, from the 2022 season. Medium size and also brand new with tags. So yeah, it had a lot going for it, and I sourced it for £8.38, which is a good source. It was an online source. Sold it for, including postage, £41.60. Lovely. So take the postage off that and take the eBay fees off that, I was left with £27.94, okay, which overall gave me a profit of £19.61, which is a markup of 235%. So again, smashing that 50 to 100% target bracket. Really pleased with it. Football shirts sell, and usually they sell well. If you can source them for under a tenner, it is worth doing, especially if they are medium size and upward and in good condition. Doesn't really matter what team it is, they usually sell all right. Next up, a very, very strong reselling brand, and I've mentioned this before, it's Fat Face. These were a pair of Fat Face cargo shorts, and I think Cove was the sort of like the make or the range of them. Fat Face Cove cargo shorts, but nice colour, mint green. Picked them up for £4. Okay, so when I picked them up, I thought, yeah, this has got something in it, and I was right. I sold them for £13.60, okay, which gave me £8.55 back, £4.55 profit, okay, 113%. So again, another nice quick seller. There were two things I think which contributed towards the speed of this sale. Number one was the name, number two was the season. People are looking for shorts at the moment, and these were a decent pair. Next up, another online source. These, I pay quite a bit for these, but they haven't been worn. These were a pair of Nike Revolution 3s running shoes. So again, I'm going for the running shoes because I know that if people like this type of running shoe, then they'll get it. Runners are very, very particular about the type of shoes that they get. These were a neutral running shoe. You can either have a neutral running shoe or a support running shoe. I use support. They have a little bit more in the heel, and you can tell if you squeeze the rubber in the heel of the shoe, and if it's quite solid, that is a support shoe. If it's quite soft, that is a neutral shoe. Okay, it's all about how your heel hits the ground. If your heels hit the ground flat on, okay, then you need support. If they turn in a bit, like mine do, then you need neutral. Okay, if they turn in a bit, you need support. I need support because my heels turn in a little bit. If you're ever thinking of taking up running, go and get your gait, G-A-I-T, analysed. Many of the moti shops, many of the decent running shops will have a treadmill where they'll actually put a camera on you so they can see how your foot hits the ground, and then they can advise on the type of shoe to get. That's really important. Otherwise you'll get cramps in your calf and stuff like that. Where was I? Yeah, with this. So £12.32 I sourced them for. All right, and I got an offer of £21.60. So that gave me £15.64 back, a profit of £3.32, which was 26%. So yeah, 26%, it's not much, but £3.32, that's like an average profit. So yeah, I knew that I was paying a bit much for these, but I was pretty sure that they would sell for a profit. And as long as you've got the template set up properly, I mean, £3.32 just for a couple of photos, I took that. Okay, I took that. So in terms of the figures from the 7-day sellers, yeah, a little bit different this week because I have included 3 from just sourcing around the house or that have been given to me from situations that have occurred within my family. But I will include them because the video is all about how much benefit it actually brings. So in a way, I've spent £27.70, okay, on everything that I've told you about, all 7 things, and I got back 113 quid, okay, £113.84, so that's £88.14 profit. Nice, lovely. That's over a tenner an item, okay, so it is worth doing. Go round your house. eBay is the world's biggest car boot sale. All right, and as long as you've got the stuff that you can send it with, I mean, say if you're somewhere and you just see a few cardboard boxes about, I mean, in the place where I work, there's always cardboard boxes. So I just, say, can I have those? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and just put them into a packing place in my shed, maybe just collapse them down so they're there to send anything that I have. So, yeah, as long as you've got the packaging materials, it can be done. Anyway, let's start to talk about a couple of things that took a bit more than a week to sell, all right, but are still worth informing you about. That's what it's all about, education. First up was a part for a vacuum cleaner. It's something that I'm considering doing. Just getting the vacuum cleaner and then cleaning it up and taking it to bits and selling off the parts, breaking it down. I think this would work for Dyson. I think it would work for it. Okay, maybe it's something that I can experiment with a little bit further down the line. But this one was for a Shark Hoover. Shark are a brand which are becoming more and more popular. I've got a Shark myself, and they're pretty decent. This one was a tube, okay, the main tube. So yeah, it took over a year. I sourced it for £1, but it took over a year to shift. But in the end, it did shift, and it shifted for a profit because I sold it for £13.60. Okay, so that gave me £13.40. That gave me £9.19 back, £8.19 profit, which comes in at 819%. So yeah, it took over a year, but we got there in the end. Next up, I priced this at £1. If you watch my previous video, you'll know that I just sourced a whole load of watches, and in that bumper package that I sourced, I think there was one that I did through a bid from an auction and one bundle that I bought just on a buy it now. But one of those included some Apple Watch straps, and this was a medium to long Apple Watch strap, and it was the part with the hole in, not the fastening pin, just the holes, and it was black. The Apple Watch straps, if you go into an Apple store, you'll see that they are quite expensive. So if you ever come across any, or if you've got any lying about, they are worth selling. They are worth putting on. As I say, I put this at £1, all right, and I sold it for £7. Decent postage as well. There's only 87 pence because it's so thin. You can easily put it in. It's like sending a card. So I got back from that £4.67, which gave me £3.67 profit, which is 367%. So yeah, Apple Watch straps, even if it's only half a strap, which is the case that I had, still worth doing. Next up, decent brand, Clarks, and these were just a pair of Clarks trainers. There are some people out there that just like Clarks and just get the trainers for it. They don't want their trainers to be just absolutely covered in branding. They just want a nice simple pair of decent well-made trainers, and this is what Clarks do. I should think these were used as just like a pair of shoes just to walk about in or go on walks with. But anyway, I sourced them for £5. They were in good nick. I cleaned up the bottom of them a bit so that they photographed a bit better. I've got like a steam gun which you can go over the bottom of it with, and it just takes any dirt or marks off. So that makes it prepares it for the photographs very, very well, and it just gives you that little bit of an advantage for people actually looking at your photographs when they're hoping to buy. £18.60 I sold them for, or took an offer on. £12.11 back, £7.11 profit, okay, which is 142% markup. Good. Okay, nice pair of pink, decent sized, nice conditioned Clarks trainers. Next up was usually something that I leave well alone. These are jackets, blazer type jackets. They don't really shift that quickly, but they do if they're made from linen. That L word again, that lovely material that has bought me quite a bit of profit over the last 18 months or so. Yeah, this was a nice Marks and Spencer's Calazione linen jacket. Set me back £6, sold it for £18.60, £12.39 back after fees and postage, £6.39 profit, 106%. So again, we are going above the 100%, the 50 to 100% target bracket that I go for. So a lot of the things that I'm telling you about this week are above that, which is good news. Good news. There's been quite a few sales this week. As I said, there was 7 from the quick sales, and 3 of those was stuff that I didn't even buy. Result. Next up, sticking with the linen, these were a pair of linen and cotton blended trousers, 50% of each. Lovely pair of summer trousers, nice to go out in if you're going out for a meal in the evening, or to wear during the day if you don't particularly like wearing shorts. The linen trousers, I think this is one of the reasons why they sell so well, is they're a replacement for shorts. But these were £3, and I took an offer of £9.60. £4.91 back after postage, £1.91 profit, 63%. So still into that 50 to 100% bracket. Okay, this is a bread and butter one. This is one that turns over quite quickly. Yeah, they didn't sell within the week, but I think on these it was like 2.5 weeks. A pair of linen trousers at this time of year, as long as they're in decent condition and are photographed well, will shift quite quickly. Juicy. Next up, I've sold quite a few of these recently. They're a brand which do seem to do well, but I've gone back through each and every one of my buyers for this product were from Scotland. This is Sunderland of Scotland. The Scots are very, very passionate about buying stuff from Scottish made or Scottish companies. And yeah, so take advantage of that. If you have this product, I would put them on all day, because I know that golf is very, very popular in Scotland. They've got some cracking courses up there, but also Scottish weather can take a turn, so they need a jacket. So the Sunderland of Scotland jacket, get in. This had Gore-Tex in it as well, so it had a lot going for it. I paid £8.50 for it, So that's quite high. Normally for a jacket, I'll be like £5-6, but £8.50, and I sold it for £18.60. Okay, £12.89 back, £4.09 profit, 48%. So just outside that. This took about 5 to 6 weeks to sell. So again, earlier in the video, I told you about taking an offer that comes in after the product's been on for a couple of weeks. 48%, I'd have been nuts to turn that down. Absolutely nuts. Don't hold out for like top dollar all the time, because otherwise you'll need a shed or a storage place that's bursting at the seams, and you won't have any cash flow. You won't have any money coming in, all right, which isn't a good way to run your business. There are some people who comment on the videos that I put and disagree with this business model, thinking that you should hold out for top dollar all the time. I'm not dismissing it. I'm not dismissing it. But personally, I feel you're going to need a big shed. And last but not least, this was, and it's just a reminder really, about how well these things do. Wool blend trousers. Wool blend trousers. I mean, we're looking at, it's the middle of summer. You can see out what it's like. Okay, beautiful weather. All right. In fact, actually, I'm going to go and join the lovely Mrs. S in the living room in a minute, because the men's final for Wimbledon is on. I think they're in the first set at the moment, so just let that get sorted out, and then we'll get to the nitty gritty stuff. But yeah, I love Wimbledon, love it. The other tennis tournaments I can take or leave, but there's something about Wimbers that's great. I think it's just part of being British, really, isn't it? End of July, Wimbledon's on. Excellent. Anyway, these were 38 waist, 29 leg, a nice pair of grey wool blend trousers. Wool blend trousers are in demand because you can put them in the washing machine and they won't shrink. So that it's a really, really good product to pick up. And this one, the person that bought this was a repeat buyer. So I now know the size of this person. 38 waist, 29 legs. So if I get another pair of wool blend trousers in, maybe I can send him a cheeky little message. That's taking your business to the next level, okay, in terms of going back through your stuff. But it's certainly something that is worth doing, okay? Going through and seeing who your repeat buyers are and what they are buying. Oh, that's another nugget from Smithy. Absolutely. You know, if you do that, the chances of making a sale are higher. Developing those buyer-customer relations are really, really important. If they don't want them, they'll just ignore it, okay? But yeah, it is worth doing, I would say, definitely. Right, that's everything, okay? That's everything. It's been a good week in terms of sales. Sales are beginning to pick up again. Comparing myself year upon year, what I do is I divide the year into 52 and I compare like a previous week's sales from this time last year to the sales that I'm doing this time this year. And at the moment, I'm about even Stevens. I think we've had 28 weeks and I think it's 14 all or something like that. I could be wrong. I think at the top of my head, because we're about halfway through the year, aren't we? So yeah, that sounds about right. It sounds about right. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with the way that things are going at the moment. Anyway, as I said, please comment, please like, please subscribe. Keep your comments coming in. The video that I'm going to do this week, I think I'll go back to my video that I did about eBay simple delivery, and we'll just have a little chat about the sort of comments that came through on the video for that I did about 4 months ago. All right, it is interesting, some of the comments that are made, and I think eBay need to listen to some of them. Anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy the tennis now. All right, lovely. Nice talking to you. Pleasure as always. This is Smithy out. Bye-bye.